Hi guys, today we is mostly talking about wood. Just getting my little bowie knife done. I'm making a front bolster, or front guard should I say, out of steel, and I'm just shaping it, and I think I'm happy with this one. This is a client knife for Steve, and I like that because of the lockup and the grip on it. I'm going to gun blue that when it's finished. I am going to put some brass spacers in there, then it will have a gun blued pommel on the rear, fixed in with an M6 I think bolt. Today I'm talking about wood. I've been doing some stabilising of my timbers. This elm, I love elm. As I said before, I love elm. This elm, it's beautiful, so beautiful. It's beautiful wood. Getting very difficult to get elm now. The Dutch elm disease in Britain killed off just virtually every elm tree we've got. There are still a few around, but they're just getting hard. It's getting harder and harder to find elm, and it's one of my favourite timbers, elm, especially this really pippy burl, which is nearly impossible to get hold of. As I say, I've just stabilised these. There's another one. There's another one. They're not very big pieces, as you can see, so you don't really get a lot out of them. There's an elm, which, although not pippy, is a nice burl timber. Someone did ask me a while ago if I used apple, and yeah, I've actually got a bit of apple there. That's nice. That's a bit of ash, and now ash is going to be a thing of the past very shortly, because we have now got ash dye back in Britain. This is what happens, people, when you just let everything flood in across your borders and don't check anything. So yeah, ash, one of the most beautiful trees in Britain, is again going to be a rarity. Now I did send for some elm from a guy who was, I think he's Stable or Not, he trades under his name, for some elm. As I say, I like small pippy burl, and this is what he has sent me, and it is really nice. I've just stabilised it, but it's beautiful wood, don't get me wrong, but it's not as pippy as I like, but it's still nice, isn't it? For folding knives, it's nice to have something that big with that really tight pippy pattern, because the scale on a folder is obviously only that long, so you're getting some really nice detail in the timber. That is also some apple, although I'm not very impressed with it, the way it's come out, but it's there. It's maybe a nicer piece, very blonde that wood. I will usually I will usually go on to stain that some more elm. These were small burls which I found. Actually, I know where there are two ash trees still growing in a wood not far from me, with the owner's permission. I've taken some dead branches off that elm. I went back to look yesterday, and there are a couple more branches at the top of the tree. They're only yay round, but they've got some nice little burls growing on them, so that's kind of where I get these little pippy burls from. That's a beautiful piece, that. Fortunately, I've only got one. One of them. But, so what I'm going to do now is play you a tune. Just got my new guitar delivered. No, I've just had a delivery, and it's elm. So we're going to cut it open and see what it looks like. I'm praying for pippy burl, but I know I'm not going to get really pippy burl. But it's elm, and I love elm. Let's see what we have got. Oh! it's nice. It is nice. It's not pippy. It's not tight pippy, but it is rather beautiful. That is very dry. So there'll be no stacking that up in a cupboard for 2 or 3 years. That is a beautiful grain pattern. It's actually very, very, very similar to this. I love that there, with that wavy grain, and there's enough thickness in this. It's probably, well, it's about 2.5 inches thick, that, pushing 3 inch. There's some nice pippy grain there, but it's not really thick enough to get anything out of it. Oh, that is stunning. I'm pleased with that. There is an awful lot of knife handles there. Look at this. Whoa, got the really tight grain there. Yeah, I love that. Love that. There. What a beautiful, stunning blade handle. Get on that there, that piece. And this is thick enough to get probably 4 scales in there when I run it through the bandsaw. So I'll get 4 scales out of that piece, which is enough for 2 knives. It's probably, it is the most cost-effective way to buy your knife scales. This stuff I love. Just beautiful. The last knife I finished had this on it. It's gorgeous timber when it's finished. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It is dark, very pitted, but I still have some huge, huge lumps of burl from this. We're talking burls the size of a dustbin lid, you know, about 2 foot deep. So I've got 2 outside. They've been drying about 5 years now, and I've got 2 in the workshop which I just keep cutting up. I've just cut this one, and there is some major damage in this where it started to rot. The actual burl started to rot, but if you look at the pattern and see the scales you're going to get out of that, it's just gorgeous, the colour. What I do, what I do, did you see that then, or was I too close to the camera? I don't know, I'm not Steven Spielberg, but yeah, what I do when I'm I don't know what I'm talking about. What I do when I'm setting out a knife handle is I cut the shape of the handle, the eventual shape of the handle, out of cardboard, and then I place the cardboard over the wood, and I can picture how the actual grain will look on the handle. And although that's pretty gnarly and pretty crappy in places, there's some beautiful usable timber in that. And that's another slice of it there. God, that stuff is so ridiculously hard. You can see the face is almost polished where it's come off the bandsaw, it's so hard. But yeah, I will enjoy cutting into that and sanding it. What I do with my timbers, I have my own. I've used stick fast. I have used the other one, which I can't remember the name of it now. They're all generally the same, thermal cure resins impregnated under a vacuum in a vacuum chamber, then heated to set the resin. But I made my own resin from, I can't remember what it's called, guys. It was like a plastic, some kind of really hard plastic, kind of like Perspex beads, which I bought, and I've got this stuff to try it out. I wasn't sure whether it'd work, and what you actually do is you dissolve the plastic in, I can't think what the stuff's called now. Yes, this plastic will dissolve in toluene, but it takes kind of 48 hours to dissolve the plastic beads in the toluene, the toluene just stinks, it'd be high as a kite smelling that, but so I do all that kind of stuff outside. And the mixture goes into the wood under a vacuum, and this stuff it sets through evaporation of the toluene, so the toluene evaporates out of the wood and out of the plastic, and the plastic sets again really hard, and that's what these have been done in. And believe me, it's pretty strong, because you can literally snap these little wafers like that, but it really toughens them up, and it's good stuff. But the only drawback is it takes generally maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks sometimes, depending on the block, for the toluene to evaporate out the wood. But it does work. It's faster in summer. But I did these about 3-4 days ago. No, about 2 days ago, and the smell has virtually left the surface. So I'm going to fire up the bandsaw now and make some dust. The reason I love cutting my own timber, or I much prefer cutting my own timber, is because I can see the grain as I'm cutting through the timber, and I can choose which face I want to show. So on these, the ones on the floor are sort of that, which is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's not just the burl, it's also the way this grain turns around the burl, because here you're just on the edge of the actual burl that's growing on the tree, and I find that just as beautiful as the actual burl itself. So I can, as I work through the log, I can select the grain I want and how to cut. This stuff is really hard. It doesn't really need stabilizing, but I will do anyway. Here you can see that I've got most of that gnarly chewed up edge off this board now, and what is left on that is now very, very usable. There's a lot of scales left in that, and some of the nicest patination in this wood is still in this central core. I'm just going to take my time. I'm going to have a good look at that, put the new blade in and have a good look at this as I cut the slabs. If I cut the slabs 50mm square, it means I can then turn the slab and cut it in the other direction if I think the grain is going to look better that way. But it's just stunning elm. I just love elm, and I just love the colour it makes as well when it's been finished and oiled. But I am one happy bunny today, guys. I'll just spray some of this with a little bit of water. Ooh, God. Getting excited over wood. But like I say, it's getting so rare, this stuff now. It don't grow on trees. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will carry on cutting now, and then I'll get back to my knives. I'll see you soon, guys. The 6-hour knife challenge is coming up very soon because I'm very nearly on top of my orders. I got really behind, but I'm just about getting on top now, and the rocket stove is coming very soon as well. So alright fellas, thanks for watching and thanks for subbing, and I will see you very soon.